Hello, everybody. Dr. Lonnie Stewart here from the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. Are you a physical therapy student about to start studying for the National Physical Therapy Examination? Or maybe you're a professor, a program director, or clinical instructor who teaches DPT students preparing for the NPTE? Either way, we would recommend checking out our sponsor, NPTE Final Frontier, and the community they've built around preparing for and succeeding on the NPTE. That exam and the preparation that goes along with it can be long, tedious, difficult, and stress inducing, but it doesn't have to be. NPTE Final Frontier has the tactics and resources to help address all of the usual barriers. They even have scholarships to help with NPTE study courses, FSBPT registration fees, and even research opportunities. And if that's not enough, they're even donating to the very first annual HET Podcast Scholarship to be awarded at the end of every year. Go to npteff.com for all of the details and use code HET for 10% off all purchases. Links to both the NPTE Final Frontier and their scholarship options are available in the show notes. And now, let's get ready to learn.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Teach Me Something Tuesday episode of the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. F. Scott Feil, and this is part 2 of 3 of a mini series involving AI, artificial intelligence. The first one, we kind of got you introduced to AI and how to use prompts to kind of prime the pump, so to speak, when it comes to any sort of AI use in higher education. The good news is AI can also be used for students and professors, really, as a tutor or an educational assistant. If we have carefully constructed and crafted prompts coming from a tutoring aspect, we can really help AI learn its role as a tutor. So it can become an expert and an encouraging, upbeat tutor whose mission is to just help students understand concepts and ideas by explaining those ideas and asking students questions. That's going to be key because we don't want to just give away the answers, right? We don't just want to say, "What's the answer? This is it." Right? We want the AI to almost be like a professor or a tutor live there with the students, right? Another thing that we can do if we create carefully crafted prompts is we can help the tutor meet the students where they are, right? By asking about their learning level, where they're at currently, the topics they'd like to learn about, and what they already know about the topic. We can also have AI kind of provide explanations and examples and analogies to kind of clarify some of the concepts since generally we learn best through storytelling and tailored explanations of these examples, right? We can also help it guide students in an open ended kind of way where it asks leading questions so that the students have to kind of explain their thinking and thought process. And the cool thing about AI is, again, it helps adjust independently to the student's performance. We have very tailored experiences with AI, whereas one student may be struggling with one section, another student may be struggling in a different section. If we carefully prompt it, the areas that they're doing better in and answering correctly, they can just kind of move on and breeze past. Whereas the ones they're not answering so well, AI can spend a little more time with that. We can also have it prompt students to construct knowledge. For example, it can kind of end all of its responses, like we talked about, with questions so that students have to keep generating ideas to explain it in their own words and really be able to kind of craft your own, almost like a choose your own adventure book. Again, here's where I'm going. Here's what I want to learn more about. Is this correct? I think I understand it. It's kind of like this. Is that right? And then if it is, yes, we move on. Just kind of thinking outside the box and using AI as a little bit different than a lot of people would use it. But it can be used, like I said, in tutoring students and helping them educate themselves if they prompt it correctly to act just like a tutor. So, hope that was helpful, and we will see you on the next one. Hello, everybody. Dr. F. Scott Feil here, and we don't do this nearly enough. I wanted to thank you as an audience for being here, for listening to the shows. Without you guys, we wouldn't have anybody to geek out with over education and learning and teaching and educating. So thank you for being here, for being, faithful listeners over the years. Also, if possible, we'd love to ask a favor. We don't do this often, but if you could leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this podcast, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps boost our rankings and our algorithm and really just helps get this message out to more people out there in healthcare education who may need, some of the episodes and the experts that we interview. So if you could, like I said, leave a rating and review, we would greatly appreciate it. And we will see you on the next show.